Be sure to go to bit.ly/funnycommunity to join our funny community. Comment on episodes and who knows what else. That's bit.ly/funnycommunity. Protectorate Productions Comedy Showcase. Here we go. Bells in the Bat Free, John Bell's show, can be found at thebatfree.com, on the Mutual Audio Network, and finer podcast sites.
Brad, do you know who this man is sitting here?
Well, the way he's dressed, I assumed he's a lifeguard.
No, Brad, this man is Putin.
I'm sorry?
He's Putin.
So I should open a window?
No.
Light a match.
He's Vladimir Putin.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it every time. I'll get him some Pepto-Bismol.
Brad, he's the president of Russia.
Uh-huh.
The head of the evil empire.
Well, why didn't you say so? Hello, Mr. Vader.
That's not who it is.
Well, I give up. He looks like that guy who's in charge of Russia and runs around without his shirt on.
That's who it is, Brad.
That is me.
Oh, and I know why you're here.
How are you knowing what I'm here for?
Well, obviously, you're here for public relations advice.
Uh-oh.
You've got a bad image, buddy, and I'm here to make you look good.
Brad, that's not why
Wait. Let me hear him out.
You gotta get with the times, buddy. You gotta make Russia look like a friendly, happy place. And I think a full campaign will do it, starting with a jingle. Hey, we're the Russians. People say we're rushing around, but we're too busy Kremlin to put the Western powers down.
Brad, you really need to...
I am liking it.
Tell him more.
Now you need just a tagline, a short slogan to let people know who you are and what you stand for. Let's see. With a name like Putin, he's gotta be good. Putin, he's great. Putin, he keeps going and going and going. Putin, bet he can't beat just one. Between love and madness lies Putin. Putin, have it his way. Like a good neighbor, Putin is there, watching your every move. So beware.
Pure genius. Tell me more.
And finally, you need to associate yourself with a popular brand, something that says goodness and good taste and America, like a box of Ritz crackers. That's it. We'll put your face on a box of Ritz crackers. When you're red, you want to be fed with a tasty snack. Just look where Vladimir sits. Putin on the Ritz! I'm dressed like a skinny, healthy Khrushchev. He's up to all sorts of wacky mischief. When you want some cheese on a cracker, that's the bee's knees. Look where Vladimir sits. Putin on the Ritz!
I like it. Everything is good that sits on a Ritz.
James Kennison over at nlcast.com.
Here come the clowns.
It's JoJo! It's JoJo! JoJo the Christian! JoJo the Christian! JoJo the Christian clown! Yeah!
I mean, the devil must not like what I'm doing here. But, when you're doing the right thing, that's how you know. Because the devil tries to get you down. Spiritual warfare, plain and simple, that's what this is. But I am going to stand strong. You would not believe who the devil uses to come against you when you're trying to do his work. I mean, I sat down to do the podcast last week, and who called me but my very own pastor? I expected that he would be very excited about what he's heard on the podcast, but on the contrary, he told me he thought I should pull the plug and stop producing podcasts. Say that 3 times fast. He said that he didn't feel that I was, how did he put it, spiritually mature enough to be offering advice for other people. He seemed to think that my answers did not reflect the opinions of most Christians, and that people might think that this is just a parody show, and they wouldn't take my message seriously, or even worse, that they would. Oh, well, Mr. Pastor, I rebuked my now former pastor, and I told him what I would tell any of you who would come against God's anointed. I know that this is what God has told me to do, so fight that. I mean, Psalm 55:22 says, cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. I told that pastor that this verse is the reason I do what I do. It's also the reason I've lived in the same garage with my sister for the last 15 years, because you cannot be moved if you are righteous, apparently. But just because you can't handle the two-edged sword of Christian crowning truth does not mean that you have to put that junk on me. Throw your baggage at the Lord if you've got it. Don't throw it at me. So, what does that mean to you, the faithful listener and Christian crown wannabe? I'm still here with a supernatural, unmovable, unavoidable, unintelligible word straight to you from the Crown Prince of Praise, JoJo the Christian Crown. Yeah!
Here's something you may have heard before, but it's worth repeating.
I was very, very, very unprepared for business. So I joined Ulysses Pollywong School of Business and other such things. I learned lots of stuff.
I tell you what, if it wasn't for that Ulysses Pollywong School for Business and other such things, I tell you, I'd be in trouble. You know, I used to have all sorts of problems with that algebra and such, but I tell you what right now, I don't even mess with that anymore.
Ulysses Pollywong School for Business and other such things.
I am such a avid and learned student there that I am giving this testimonial, which is in no way turn page over. In no way. Oh, right. Oh, I wasn't supposed to read that. Oh, okay. Well, I'll back up to the last paragraph then. This is in no way turn page over. A pre-written or pre-recorded testimonial. This is Ulysses Pollywong, host and starter of Ulysses Pollywong School for Business and other such things. Remember, if you think you have the knack for business, you Pollywong.
And here's this week's old-time radio moment, brought to you by the Retro Radio Podcast and Keith Helsley.
As you know, ladies and gentlemen, Arthur Treacher has moved into Jimmy Durante's house. As we look in on them now, we find them lolling about the swimming pool.
I say, James, whatever are you doing? Get off that diving board.
Treacher, watch this dive. I will now do a double jackknife, and while in midair, I will snatch a worm from a sparrow's mouth. Here I go.
But, James, I say, is there any water in the pool?
You know, Treacher, you have a very interesting question.
You know, luckily you landed on your nose. It broke the fall. But, James, I do appreciate your hospitality. And to prove it, here's a little house gift I bought for you. Here, just lift the cover and listen.
Just what I've always wanted, Treacher. A musical garbage can. Very thoughtful of you, Treacher.
Oh, Mr. Durante.
Yes, Candido.
Mr. Durante, there was a telephone call for you, and the sweetest, loveliest voice said, I'd like to see Mr. Durante tonight, and I said...
Who is this, Greer Garson?
And the sweet voice said no.
I said Rita Hayworth.
And the sweet voice said no.
Well, for heaven's sake, who was it?
Wallace Berry.
Hang around till wash day, Candido. I'd like to send your head out with the rest of the flat work.
Mr. Durante, I'd like
to have a word with you.
Everybody wants to get into the act. Stanley, what are you doing here?
Mr. Durante, you went out with Margaret O'Brien last week. Margaret is my girl, and I came here to settle this man to man.
Now, wait a minute, Stanley. Wait a minute. Don't shoot. Put that pistol down. The water will take the crease out of my pants. Let's discuss this like gentlemen. Sit down, Stanley.
No, thank you. I'll come right to the point. I've been growing steady with her for 3 months. 3 months, Mr. Durante. That represents a lot of bubble gum. And I'm here to protect my investment.
A bubblegum typhoon.
Just answer me one thing. Did you or did you not give Margaret your fraternity pin?
I had to give it to her. The shoulder strap on her rompers broke. And it wasn't exactly a fraternity pin. It was my old chicken inspector badge.
Mr. Durante, I'm afraid you don't understand women. You know, some girls can't be toyed with. An unhappy love affair can have deep psychological repercussions.
Can have what?
Deep psychological repercussions. Wouldn't you say so?
I wish I could say so. But be reasonable, Stanley, my boy. Be reasonable.
Reasonable nothing. My uncle will be here any minute, and he's gonna break every bone in your body. Uh-oh, here he comes now. I'm leaving. I can't stand bloodshed.
Wait a minute, Stanley. I'll go with you. Wait a minute. What a spot for Durante. This guy's probably 6'3", covered with muscles, and built like a gorilla.
Pardon me, did I leave my eyelash curler here?
Victor Moore! Hey, Victor, this is a coincidence. Don't tell me you were supposed to beat me up. My old pal Victor?
Now, don't old pal me. I'm really steamed up about this. I'm just boiling. Why, right now, I'm so mad I could crush a Rice Krispie.
Now, wait a minute. Don't get tough with me. You remember me from the old days. I was always athletic. Why, at high school, you know I broke the pole vault record.
Oh, yeah? Well, I broke the 100-yard dash record.
But I also broke the high jump record.
And I broke the hurdle record.
Hello? Okay, if that's the way you feel.
Who is that?
Petrillo. He says we gotta stop making these records.
Well, don't try to avoid the issue.
Have a good day, and remember, laughter, it's a really good medicine.